Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We'll jump right into it and I'll give you my financial opinion. So we got the dollar here. It is looking, well, we have an update today. I'm just trying to look here. Is this a pattern that looks somewhat like this? Is it something that, it could look like that. Yeah. Or is it something that kind of comes up like a rising wedge? Difficult to say. We have this, could this be, basically a pattern that heads lower? Potentially. A way that you could, draw this in the short term, you could draw this sideways, and then that would be somewhat bullish. But again, we'll see what happens. I don't like doing the short term stuff. I still think that the dollar will eventually head lower. Whether it goes up and does a double top, up to, it's up to the market. It's going to do what it wants to do. But irrespective, we had an update today. The 10-year yield's also heading higher. We're coming up to that resistance line. We'll see what happens here with yields when it hits that resistance line. That resistance line was created back here and was hit multiple times through here. If we break to the upside, we could see a break higher in interest rates. It's very possible. Looking at gold, increasing dollar, increasing interest rates. Gold usually doesn't like that. So today we had a sideways day. It was down basically nothing, just sideways. Silver moving sideways. I think it still looks fine. Nothing to really worry about there. Platinum barely down. Still looks good to me. I think we're going to go higher. We've got the large up buying days and then the small sell-off above the support line. So I think that looks good still. Looking at the ratio, XAU to gold ratio, more or less just moving sideways. Big picture view, we still need to break this big downtrend line. I think if we can break that downtrend line, it'll be good. There's some positives here. There's a low, a higher low, a higher low. So our lows are coming up into that resistance line, and we're going to have to see if we can break it. Now, look at the companies themselves. This is Karora Resources just moving sideways to slightly lower on the short term. We've got that pullback type look or move here. You see that, and we may do one last kind of fizzle out here. So EXK, again, I think this looks good. We're sitting on top of a pattern, declining wedge pattern. We've had our kind of pullback. We're starting to come up. We have a nice big up day, small down days. That's all good for a move higher with support underneath it. Fortuna Silver Mines, it's got the same setup as EXK in terms of the large up pressure and small selling pressure. I think it looks good. SILJ, very similar to EXK and FSM. I think it looks good to go higher. GDX, just moving sideways right on the support line. That one looks good. Since we're on support, I don't see huge selling pressure yet. I'd have to see that. Metallic minerals moving higher today. Fantastic day, 14%. That one's looking better. It looks like it's recovering. Koya Resources moving sideways. Hoping we can get some a little bit of support there. There's your downtrend line that's broken. Usually that's profitable to be looking at it right here. Discovery Silver, another one that's bounced off support, just coming back a little bit. We've had one day coming up, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days coming down. That usually resolves itself higher. It's just the sellers leaking out. First Majestic Silver, another one that looks really good. Big up day, small down days. I think it'll eventually work its way on up. Broken down trend. Usually see that as well as a ABC correction. So that looks good. And we're low on this pattern, guys. It looks good down here. If you're a patient investor, that's how you make money. You buy low and you hold on, sell later at much higher prices. This is Newmont. Newmont's a larger company. We are right on support resistance. That's where we're at. A little bit of a down day today. Mag Silver, it's probably just like FSM, EXK, and AG, the silver companies. And it is. Large up day, hit the resistance line, and we just pulled back a little bit. I still think it looks good to go higher eventually. AUY, again, we have two large up days, smaller down days. This difference between the two, and I think it will work its way higher. It's just something I always see in charts. Impact Silver, another one that's got the large up day and small down days. It'll work its way higher eventually. Aftermath Silver, hopefully we can get a little bottoming pattern at some point. I do think this is a spot to be looking at some point if we can see some buying pressure. PLG looking okay, holding its own today. Savigny Stillwater just moving sideways, slightly lower, gapped lower and then moved sideways, I should say. The royalty companies, Sandstorm Gold still sitting above support, looks good, just moving sideways today. Franco-Nevada, small down day. Even if we bounce around here, it's okay. EMX getting a little bit of buying pressure up on top of the support line here, this downtrend. Broke through, did a back test, and then we're moving higher. Teuton Resources pulling back a little bit, down 3.65%. We've got Wheaton Precious Metals still above support, still looks decent to me. Gold Royalty moving sideways, looks okay. Metallo Royalty, big up day, and then the small down days that'll eventually work its way higher, I think. So that looks good. Mavericks Metals, again, big up days, small down days. The sellers aren't in control here. If the seller's in control, you'll see large down movements and smaller up movements until you get a bullish engulfing. Now the buyers are in control. So that's what I'm seeing. Royal Gold, another one that's just moving sideways, still looks good. We're getting momentum worked off, so that looks good. And Cisco Gold Royalty looks good to go higher. That looks really good. Big up days, small down days, that stair-stepping pattern, I see it all the time. And then Altius Minerals, ATUSF. This is a royalty company with a whole bunch of different royalties. Could we break down a little bit and come back and do a retest? It's possible. So that's one that I would look for. And then somewhere in this general vicinity would be a good spot to be looking for it. And that's Altius Renewables. Do your own research. Make sure the company's right for you. But that company's got potash, royalties, and base metals, and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website, the Platinum membership, if you guys like this. I have a trading session going on tomorrow, which is Thursday. That's 6/9/2022 at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to talk about fractals. I'm going to talk about some technical analysis. And then I'm also going to get into ratios and some other things that I notice in charts all the time. Hopefully it can tie it all together for people. I also go into portfolio allocation a little bit. Reason being is it all kind of works together. When you look at things, the whole markets, they're all interconnected. And I know people don't think that they are, but they are. Money flowing out of one area is going to go to another area, and it kind of just all flows around. And in investing, all you really do is front run money flows. That's all it is. You get in first, and then the money comes over here, bids you up, and then you run back and jump in the other sector, and then the money comes rotating back, it jumps it back up, and that's all it is. It's just money flowing around in the markets. So yeah, that's what I've got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content, and we'll see you next time. This is Finding Value.